You're 23, sitting in the driveway, not knowing it was going to be the last time you drive out your driveway. Maybe you're hiding. Maybe you're overwhelmed. Maybe you just need to cool off your mind. Or maybe someone's after you. Today, we're going to be talking about Phoenix Colden. But before we get into that, my name is Jessie May. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. On this channel, I post about makeup content as well as true crime content and makeup. So if you're interested in that, girl, subscribe. But let's get into the video. Phoenix was born May 23rd, 1988. She was adopted by Goldia Colden and Lawrence Colden. They both raised her to be very independent, to be very loving, and a little backstory about the Coldens. They're very conservative, they're very religious, and religion is very important to them. So Goldia and Lawrence, they had very high expectations for Phoenix. When Phoenix was young, they decided to move to Spanish Lake, Missouri. And it's a very quiet, middle-class suburb area, just an area to raise your family. And the reason why they moved, it was because of Lawrence's job. So they said, the money's over there in Spanish Lake. So Phoenix was homeschooled. They really sheltered her. They was very conservative. They didn't want the outside views or, perspectives on her. They just wanted their own perspective on her. Phoenix, when she was young, she was wonderful. She played the violin. She was very academically strong, okay? She was smart. She even fenced competitively. And that's like when, you play the swords or whatever, she did that. Yeah. So she was raised in a very well-structured household, and her parents always knew where her whereabouts were. They wanted good for her. And her parents were very involved in her life, and they had very, like I said in the beginning, very high expectations for her and rules that she had to follow. She started to grow away from her mother because every Sunday they would go to church, and she would sit next to her mother, Goldia, and Lawrence. But as she was growing distant, she decided to sit 2 rows back from her parents instead of sitting next to them. Phoenix started pulling away slowly and emotionally, and she also had a double life and that her parents did not know of. So let's get into the day that she disappeared. On Sunday, December 18th, 2011, her mother and father, they go to church every Sunday. Phoenix wasn't sitting side by side by her parents. She was sitting 2 rows back. Like I said earlier, that she was becoming distant with her parents. So after church, Phoenix and her mom, they decided to go to the grocery store. It was just a regular Sunday to them. Nothing was out of the ordinary. So they returned home around 2 p.m. and Phoenix, she decided to play some basketball because I guess she probably wanted to blow off some steam, or maybe she wanted to get her exercise in. And this wasn't out of the ordinary. And after she played basketball, she decided to get in her car and make some phone calls. And parents Goldia and Lawrence said that she always done this, and this is just something that she does for privacy. And as Phoenix was in the car, her father Lawrence spotted her in the car just making phone calls. I guess he was just checking on her, or maybe he just looked out the window, I don't know, but he saw her. After she was done making her phone calls or doing whatever she was doing in the car, she decided to leave her driveway at 3 p.m. And her father Lawrence said that this was the last time he had seen her. And he just thought that she probably went to go run some errands or go to the store or just do something and then come back. But she never came back. Midnight comes around and Lawrence says to Goldia, "Hey, I haven't heard from Phoenix. I'm concerned. We should probably call the police." And they said that typically if Phoenix is running late or anything, she will always notify her parents. So this was very unusual for her. So they decide to call the police, and then on the next day, December 19th, a police arrived at the Colden's residence. The police was, asking questions and things like that, and Goldia was giving, details like this and this and this and this and this. And then when she mentions her age, as Phoenix is 23, the police officer stopped writing. The officer said that Phoenix is an adult, she is 23, and she can pretty much do whatever she wants. Goldia said that's BS. This is my daughter. I don't know where she's at. This is unlike her, and etc., etc. Goldia responded and quoted, "I don't know what wolves raised you, but this is not how we do things around here." After Goldia and the police officer was just going back and forth, the police officer insisted on running Phoenix license plates to see if anything come up in the system, like robbery or something. And the officer ran the plates, and then the officer told Goldia there's nothing in the system. And that did not sit right with Goldia. So she was like, okay, whatever, blase, blase. So around the next day, she decided to reach out and demand a different police officer. And she felt like people weren't taking her daughter's case seriously because she was, a person of color. It's very known for Black people cases to not really be taken seriously. So then some time passed and a new officer came around, and he apologized on the behalf of the previous officer that they had because they weren't taking the case seriously. And so this new officer started to take her case seriously, and some time has passed. And everybody knows, like, when someone is missing, the 48 hours are so crucial to find that person, because as time progresses, that person could be in Mexico or freaking Cuba, or the person could be in Asia and you wouldn't even know it. And the officer goes to report that Phoenix's car has already been found. Just nobody notified the Coldens. Nobody notified her family. The vehicle was located East St. Louis, Illinois. I can never say Illinois. I don't know if I said that right. I don't know, Buki, but that's where they found her car. And that is 30 minutes from where she lives. So when the police went out to the scene, they said that they found her car running. They found her keys, her purse, her ID, her bank cards. They pretty much found everything that she owned in her car. Eventually, her parents were notified about this in January 1st. So that was like 2 weeks later, they notified her about her daughter's car. With all this information and the police really trying to dig deep to see what happened to Phoenix, this is where things get messy. So y'all brace yourself. Phoenix had a secret boyfriend that her parents did not know about. And it makes sense why she didn't tell them, because like I said before, her parents had very high expectations of Phoenix. They were very religious and very conservative. Phoenix knew that her parents would not approve of her relationship. Phoenix was supposedly, in college. She was not going to class. She was not going to class, and her parents were paying for her off-campus housing, but she was not in her off-campus housing. She was living with her secret man that her parents did not know about. It does not stop here, okay? Phoenix had 2 phones, okay? So one phone was under her parents' line, and then the other phone was her phone that she got herself. And her parents were not aware about this phone that she had. Her parents were very, involved in heavily in her life. Pretty sure she was overwhelmed. She couldn't be who she wanted to be. Like I said earlier, she was just held up to the standard. So the secret phone that Phoenix had, they believed that it was set up by a man named Mike. So Mike, he is a guy that worked at the store, and he gave Phoenix a discount so she can get that second phone. And Mike was actually, I guess Mike was kind of her second boyfriend. So Mike did not know about Michael. He did not know. So let's dig a little bit more about Mike. So Mike, he has a very disturbing history of being very, controlling and abusive and a little bit loco for the Cocoa Puffs. So the ex-girlfriend of Mike came out and said that Mike, he was controlling, abusive, and very possessive. She even got to say that he would research about Phoenix disappearing all the time. And one day she asked him, "Why are you researching about her so much? She's dead." He would get defensive, or he would say, "Oh, I just like true crime. Oh, I'm into psychology." He would just pretty much give an excuse to every time. So days before leading up to Phoenix disappearing, so Phoenix had a friend, Akira, which is her next door neighbor. And the thing about Akira, sorry if I butcher the name, Buki, but the thing about her is that Goldia Phoenix's mother, she did not like Akira. She said that Akira was just a bad influence. She said that she is no good, she's not good for you, da 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 da. But Phoenix, I guess she didn't care. Clearly she didn't. And she still decided to be friends with Akira. And Akira noticed that Phoenix was just very off. She was expressing behavior that Akira has never seen before. Akira mentioned that she was very paranoid and depressed and just anxious. And she also believed that someone was watching her. I mean, Phoenix would say, someone is going to get me, someone is watching me. Someone is watching me, someone is watching me. And Akira would be looking scared and looking crazy at Phoenix, and Akira would go to ask who was watching you, like who was trying to get you. Phoenix, she would never give a response. Phoenix even accused Akira of talking behind her back, and Akira would go on to say like, hey, we are best friends, like I would never ever do that to you. Why would you think that? They began to have a fight about Michael. Phoenix allegedly pulled out a knife on Akira, and Akira didn't understand, or she didn't know if Phoenix was threatening her or just overwhelmed. And just a couple days before her disappearance, there was a very chilling video that was made on her phone. And in the video, she mentioned about wanting to start over, expressing that she feels alone. Pretty much, she was just expressing that she was overwhelmed and nobody understood her. She felt lonely, and she was just mentioning that people didn't care about her. And in the video, you can tell that she was, struggling with something. We just didn't know what it was. So Phoenix, still to this day, she has not been found, and there are some theories out there. One of them, people believe that she probably ran away to start a new life, because in the video she did say that she wanted to start over, and you can physically see that she was, overwhelmed and tired. Like, she was just sick of it. Okay, she was sick of all of y'all. Another theory is that people think that she was set up and probably abducted because the car was there but there was no body. So it was just, a little bit confusing. So a third theory is that she probably got sex trafficked. St. Louis is known for, sex trafficking. Baby, it's hot over there. So people think that she probably got kidnapped and got into sex trafficking. She was very beautiful. She was young. So that made her a target. I feel like Mike knows something, or he either knows something or he did it. It's either one of the two. Until we know what actually happened to Phoenix, her story needs to still be floating around. So this is the end of the video. I hope you guys like and comment, subscribe. Stay curious, stay safe. Bye.